Okay, let's proceed with where we stopped at. After now having this form, that is, we can now insert the shares of every month. As you can see, December, June, May. Now we need to have the total shares of everybody who has contributed displayed here. Therefore, what we need to do is to introduce a code on focus, on roster focus. Therefore, first of all, for us to be in a position to assign that VBA code, we need to see how we have renamed our months. Therefore, we just go to how we have renamed our months. That is in the collabo table. We can cross this, can also cross this one. We can go to roles, then try to see how we have renamed. Therefore, you can see we have renamed from March in full name, only that Jan and February are not in full. Therefore, you just go to our code, we right click, go to design view. And once you go to design view, we click one of the text boxes, then we go to design, then we go to property sheet, then we go to events. Now on events, we go to on roster focus. Now on roster focus, it can be described as a macro or a function that runs when a control or form gets the focus. That is on got focus, but you're interested on roster focus. This can be described as macro or function that runs when a control or a form loses its focus. That means when you move from December to November, what happens? Therefore, you basically go to event procedure, then you click the three dots, that is on roster focus. Then what we do, the fields that we used in the query, that is in the child table to relate to parent table, that's what we equate. And therefore, we usually equate child equals to mother. And therefore, remember we have a R member ID, therefore equals to arrow member ID. Therefore, that's what we did in our query. Then we also have arrow here equals to M here. Then what you do, you'll copy this code to all other months. Therefore, we have we shall just duplicate. We shall copy all this code and then duplicate. Therefore, we can go to the next month. We have November, then all the way we have October, we have September, then we have August, we have July, and also we have June, we have May, we have April, and then we have March, then we have Feb. Lastly, we have Jan. Now this code will allow us to allow the it will actually allow the figure that you assign, like for March, to stick around. Other than when you feed March here, when you refresh, the figure is lost. Therefore, to avoid that one, you make sure that whatever you give here, that is the code, this code, MID equals to LID, and M here equals to L here. You replace the L, that is the L table, that is the L table fields to be on the left, that is L member ID, and then L EID should be equal, that is the child should be equal to the parent. Make sure you edit that one. Just use the find and replace. Find what? You write the whole code, replace with the whole code so that you can make it easy. Then after doing so, now when I run my form and feed a value in January, like for example, if we feed for Christopher, if we feed the value should be 1,000. If we feed a value like 1,000 there, then we go to February and feed a value for him. Then we go to March and feed a value for him. Go to April, feed a value for him. May, a value. We also feed June. He also contributed the following month. He also feed that he contributed another month that way, and that is for the whole year. And then he also contributed for December that way. As you can see that way. Therefore, if you notice that the values are sticking around, they are not actually disappearing. Therefore, when we go to rooms and then we go inside here, you see that the value for this gentleman is being recorded permanently. So the next thing is now to calculate the total. We see how the total will be displayed. That is the total here. Therefore, you just go to design view, then write the formula for total. You can opt to write the formula for total here, or you can just do the formula in queries, but I would opt to have the formula done in query, that is to calculate the total. Therefore, you just go to design view of the query, then you go all the way to the total field here. This is where now you type the formula for the total to be displayed. Then the next thing, you need to do the total of number of months contributed. Therefore, I shall also do that one and see how the total months, that is the total contributions, is gotten. So what you do, you go to design view of this table, then you can include a text box. You draw a text box here. You move the label of the text box. Then you will write that equals to M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4 plus M5 plus M6 plus M8 plus M9 plus M10 plus M10 plus M11 plus M12. Then the yes or no data type is depicted by negative. Therefore, you have to multiply by -1 to make it positive. Therefore, we multiply this one, multiply that one with -1 times -1, just to make it positive. Therefore, if you want to see the formula I have used, just go to design view, properties, then you can pull this one. Be in a position to see what I have done. This is whatever I have actually done. Therefore, I have just added that one, and therefore this is the formula that I have used to do that one. Then from there, I run my form and see what I have so far. Therefore, in case you get a name, just be keen to look at the spellings of this one. Therefore, you can just go back to our formula and check what might have gone wrong. Therefore, you can see there is something wrong here. Therefore, probably that was the whole mess. And therefore, just go and run. Very good. Therefore, you can see that the total number, this gentleman has contributed 12 months. This gentleman has contributed 9 months. This one has only contributed 1. And therefore, you can just assign this one to a value. Then just go to design. Then you go to label. Then you can just type total months contributed, so that this one can be used to validate whether somebody will be given a loan or not, depending on the number of contributions made. If I'm just editing this one to make sure it is visible. Therefore, that's how you calculate the total months contributed. And therefore, as you tick, if this guy, as you tick, you notice that it is actually adding. This has not contributed anything, and therefore, if you are very keen and look at this one, somebody like now this one has not contributed anything, and therefore the total of months contributed is 0. Somebody like this one now, if we can look at somebody like this one, has only contributed for 2 months, which is very visible. Therefore, this one can help you to determine the number of months that somebody has actually contributed. And therefore, after that, you save. We can just ensure it is saved. That one is done. Then we just go now to shares. We look at what happens if somebody like now, this guy has contributed all the months, 1,000. He contributes February, March, has not contributed for March. April, we also assign April, we assign May, we assign June for him. We also assign for him July, then August, then September. He has also contributed for October. He has also contributed that one. Then he also contributed that one. Therefore, you have seen that he has so far contributed 12,000 as the value for total shares, and therefore the machine will be in a position to see that this guy has actually contributed for the 12 months. Therefore, that's how you actually calculate the total shares for that field. So we can still, therefore, let's proceed to the next part. We need to see how much loan somebody qualifies. For example, we shall use our guy here, the first guy. Therefore, we shall include a field called loan, that is maximum loan, and interest and repayment period. Therefore, you go to design view. Once you go to design view, you first of all include the type of member, because that one will be very important. Therefore, just go and get type of member. And then, once you get the type of member, we remove the label. Then you include the type of member here. Then, once we include the type of member, we can first of all see we have group and individual. Therefore, no matter the number of shares contributed here, if we want to assume if somebody is an individual, the rest should be calculated here or comes from a group. Therefore, we can include that one as a type of member, and that is a type of membership down here. Then we format it to be visible. Then the next thing, we need to see how to calculate RON, maximum RON qualified for. Therefore, maximum RON, we see whether we have such a field. We have duration. Therefore, we can calculate you can show the duration. You can also see the status. No, this one is not important here. You can see the interest. You can include the interest. Remove the label and be left with the text box. Then we need to calculate the maximum RON. For that one, we can use unbound control. That means a text box that is not related to a table or a query. Therefore, we can just include that one to help us calculate the maximum amount of RON that somebody qualifies for. Therefore, we assign the labels. You take this AA, then draw this one. This is repayment period. Repayment period. Then you have the interest. You have the interest. Then we have the maximum RON qualified. Therefore, this one, which I introduce if function. If function will be in a position to help us do that. Therefore, so far we can run this one and see what we have. Therefore, this is how our database so far looks like. But when you click here, this one will be actually displayed. Therefore, let's see if somebody comes from a group, then this one should switch. Interest should change. Also, this one should change depending on this one. Therefore, this one will be the dependent. So we go back to design view. Then we can now type our if function. Our if function will be based on the type of member, and therefore we shall type it inside the duration. And therefore we shall just type that if in access starts with that is double I. Therefore, if type of member, therefore if type of spelling must be correct of member, if type of member is equal to, because it is text, we use the individual, we use the quotation marks. If it is equals to individual, then bracket, comma, then we are talking of the that is the duration. Therefore, we give 3. Else, we give 4 years. As simple as that. Then we can cross with use if function. Therefore, let's see the formula for clarity. We go to properties. Let's see what's wrong. Therefore, if, okay, we need to have 2 brackets here, so that we can also cross with 2 brackets. 1, 2. Now it will not misbehave. 2 minute crossing brackets. Good. Therefore, I click on design, then property sheet. I want to show you the formula. want to show you the formula I have used. Therefore, this is the formula. We can look at the formula. Therefore, the formula is this one. The formula is this one. If type of member equals to individual, then the option is 3. Else, that comma means else, the other one is 4. That is for that one. Let's see whether that one is working. We go step by step. We save and then run. And in case there is an error, then we just need to fix. Therefore, individual. Probably we have misspelled the word. And we can go to the formula and see, go to design, then go to properties and check. Let's see what's wrong. That if type of member, let's also try to fix to see the name of the text box. The name of the text box, we are in design view, then property, or it is called duration. The text box is called duration, but the next one that we are referring to, this one, what is the name of that one? It is type of membership. So that's why we have made went wrong. That is spelling. That's why you are getting hash name. If we just go to this one, to our formula, and change that one, we change that one. Our spelling must be correct. Now it will work. Okay, it is set to currency. Therefore, we change that one. Type. We go to our table and fix that one. It has really worked, but we need to change type of member. Type of membership. Type of membership is text. Okay, it's okay. Therefore, what happens? You'll notice that it has really worked. This is 4. This is because it's group, but when you change, it is actually changing to 3. When you work, it is actually changing to the other one. But you need to fix to remove these Kenya shillings just by making sure that that feed is not set to currency. Yeah, you can see the format is currency here. Therefore, you change that one. You change this one. This is whatever the problem is. Therefore, you change that field to number. You change that field to number. That is to a general number with no decimal places, with 0 decimal places. Then, therefore, when we run our form, you'll see it has now worked very well. That if somebody is of category individual, then the repayment period is 3 years. Let's see now how to do the interest. Now the interest, we shall still use the if function, and therefore we shall still base our argument on the same. Therefore, if we open the 2 brackets, if now our type of membership equals to text, you put quotation marks, equals to individual, then what is the outcome? Individual interest is 1.2, therefore it is 1.2. Else it is 1%. Else it is 1%. Then you close the bracket. Therefore, after doing so, you're in a position to run. Then once you run again, you can see whether it has really worked. Therefore, you can see it has really worked very well. That if somebody is group, if somebody is of this one, let's look like this one. If somebody is from group individual, this one, the repayment period is 3 and the interest is 1.2. shillings. Therefore, if somebody is from group, then the repayment period is 4 years and the interest is 1%. Therefore, you can see that one has worked very well. Therefore, let's now calculate the maximum loan qualified for. Therefore, the maximum qualified loan will be the total shares times the period for now. Therefore, you just go again to design view, and then we go to this one. Remember, this one is an unbound control. That means that it is not bound to any table. This is just to show the customer that you have qualified for this loan, and therefore this one will be the name of this one times the name of this one. Therefore, it will be total. Total time is now this field. It's called duration. It is called duration. That way. Therefore, it is total times duration. So when we run, I shall be in a position. I can know this guy, the first guy here. Has qualified. This guy has a total of 1,200 shares, and he's from individual group. And then this guy is of the repayment period of 3 years, and therefore his interest is this. Therefore, so far he has qualified for that 6,000 Kenya shillings. That means it is his shares times the repayment period. Then we can now again calculate his total duration by multiplying this one, that is the principal amount, with the interest. Therefore, you can see that by use of if function, we are in a position to find the total shares, the type of member, the repayment period, the interest, and the maximum qualified for. Therefore, in our next video, I'll be showing you how to calculate the dividends and the total profit for the organization. Therefore, keep tuned and remember to subscribe, like, and share my videos. Thank you very much, and God bless you.